Hello, world. Welcome to Golf Subpar. Colt, Knost, Drew, Stoltz. We're playing hurt today, Sleaze.
Playing one leg.
You sound terrible.
I'm more than hurt. My whole leg's been chopped. I've been amputated, but I'm playing through the pain right now.
You sound like John McGinnis.
I don't sound good. I'm gonna go do some little radio after this. I think that's gonna be the golden voice is no longer golden, dude. It's been stripped from me.
Wow, I've never seen you so defeated.
I left it on the field. I told you this, dude. I played my ass off. I played my little heart out this week.
Well,
for the whole deal.
Obviously, once again, we pick another winner here at Golf Subpar. I mean, we are on a freaking heater.
Let's not jinx ourselves here. We will go ice cold.
No, we're not going to. That's all we do.
But counting the wins plus the play, both had playoff losses.
I believe we've had 4 of the last 10 winners.
It could have been 6.
It's
getting weird. We're working our way to that island right now. But you ride it till she bucks you, or you don't ride at all. We're riding right now, but we'll get bucked eventually.
Our man,
but damn, it's going nice.
It is. Scotty Scheffler, congratulations. Ooh. Wins in a playoff over Patrick Cantlay. We picked him here on Golf Subpar. Hope you cashed in on that. I think he was like 22-1. Yeah, that's a nice little payday. I've known that kid since he was 7 years old, Sleaze. That was an emotional one for me yesterday. I was so pumped. I was yelling at the TV. I didn't get the playoff with CBS, so I went home, got to watch the playoff in my living room, and I was screaming at the TV. I was so excited. We knew he was going to win at some point.
Oh, yeah, at some point.
And to win at this place, the WM Phoenix Open with a star-studded field, I mean, he was on the Ryder Cup team last year, but he needed to get that first win. He needed to get that monkey off his back, and he did it. Man, I'm pumped for this kid.
And looking back, I mean, just what a better place to get any kind of win than Phoenix. They're going to embrace that guy for forever. Scotty's going to be loved around here. But looking back on it, like at the end of the week, like we talked about how firm and fast it was. It was exactly that. Scores only got to 16 under, and you could not have had better weather other than the Thursday morning. The Thursday early wave got a little bit screwed. They caught some heavy little microburst of wind. Furniture was blowing around and stuff. Other than that, it blew what? I mean, hardly, not enough.
Yesterday, it blew 0.
16 under par. Like, you got to hit it to the moon. It's going to be firm and bouncy. It was, and it was like guys like that were out there doing so well. And Scotty, man, that 18th hole, coming down the stretch, you always seem to get some drama. TPC Scottsdale, 15 through 18, a lot of stuff
It's an incredible stretch to finish.
It's such a fun stretch of golf. Because 16's like, on paper, it's a nothing hole, really. But, I mean, you see some bogeys in there because people are freaking out, and rightfully so. But he comes down the stretch. I mean, just the 72nd hole in regulation, there were 3 putts from 3 guys that I was like, these are in.
And they hit terrible putts.
Xander to possibly grab a piece of the playoff needed. After he hit, dude, that shot he hit after the quick hook on 18 over left of the church pews, he hit it. I mean, it went to it was unbelievable shot.
Flew it in the hoop.
That he got that thing to get as close as he did. I'm like, this is going in for sure. Xander, top 10 putter in the world, misses. Then Cantlay's got one probably for the outright win. Not what we're used to seeing out of Cantlay. And then Scotty gets up there, pipes it. It's a beautiful wedge. I was like, this one's for sure. This is it. It's over. They all miss it. Yeah. Not Xander. He didn't have the same putt, but high side on that. When you get up there pin high, everyone just wants to think it's going to break, and it just doesn't.
I thought Scotty for sure was going to win it in regulation. He had 97 yards, I believe. It
just
reminded me of the days. He smashed it. But it reminded me of Royal Oaks. I mean, when I met Scotty when he was 7 years old, he was at Royal Oaks Country Club, works with Randy Smith. Congratulations to Randy. I mean, I talked to him this morning. He was so emotional. Oh my God, bald. But they have these little target greens at Royal Oaks on the range. There's a yellow pole, and that's known as Scotty's pole. It's like depending on the day, it's like 70 to 100. And every 4th shot, you would hear ding, and Scotty would just turn around and smile when he was 7 years old. Like, he's drilled it. And I was like, 97 yards. Here he goes. This is the yellow pole. Just throw a dart in there. And he did. He ended up missing the putt. But man, he got the win. I'm so pumped for this kid. This is gonna. I really think this is gonna do some huge things for him. Getting that first win.
Just to get to breathe, and you don't have to answer the questions anymore. Yeah. Now, I mean, he was, 11th in the world without a win, Ryder Cup player without a win. You got to play so good all the time to do that.
He was the only one I thought that was like, people might have questioned him being on the Ryder Cup team. Like, he's a rookie. He hasn't won. He goes out there, and then he beats John Rahm head-to-head in singles. It's like...
Shut everything up.
Exactly.
And we were just boat racing him, so it's like you can't question the team when you're boat racing. Yeah. But that John Rahm thing puts any hesitancy, any question to bed.
Man, I was a little banged up last night, and I FaceTimed him. He answered. We talked. I have no idea what we talked about. I think there was just a lot of yelling going on. But, man, I couldn't be more pumped. It sounds like you did a little bit of yelling this week.
Screamed a bit, but I started early, ended late. I tapped out last night. Like Super Bowl, we're walking back and forth for the playoff because we got to be out there, down the 18th. And we're just looking at each other like, For the love of God, someone be a hero. Someone do something. And Scotty made that putt on the third playoff hole, and we're going crazy. I'm like, guys, can't like pretty good putter. They're gonna tie with, they're gonna have with birdies here. We're gonna go back again, and then he missed it and speeches and all that. It was the golf tournament matched up to the week, which by the way, we stopped keeping attendance records. We stopped checking it. Without question, unequivocally, the most people ever around a golf course in the world. It started Wednesday, the shot at Glory. Okay, that's where after the Pro-Am, all the celebs come out and hit a shot for $1 million, closest to the pin. They all give money to charity. That thing got wild. People were just clamoring for it. Best story of the day. We get up there, everyone's hitting, kind of down there mingling around. Matt James, okay, former Bachelor, is down there. And he's got a beautiful outfit on. He's like green overalls, bucket hat.
He wore what Amanda Balionis wore on Saturday.
I was like, yeah, ran out of sizes or something. But you can't question style. He's got. I couldn't pull it off. I don't think you could pull it off. But the man was pulling it off. We're talking a little bit before. He's like, I'm nervous. Don't play a lot of golf. All this. You'll be fine. No one cares. 2 seconds after you hit it, I was like, 2 seconds after the ball leaves his face, it's over. No one remembers anything, and very few people even care at that point. So, all right, yeah, we're good. Everything's good. Gets up there. I didn't know he legit never played golf. And Kelly James on the mic, freestyle, all that stuff. So I'm kind of poking around, watching like buddies, things like that hit. He gets up there. He gets up there. Kelly's getting him. The crowd's loud. First swing, whiff. And I was like, God. Okay. I didn't know it was like no golf ever, but whatever. No, I was like, no one cares, dude. Just slap it down there and everyone will boo or cheer and you can get on with it. Next shot, he gives some waggles. And you probably saw it. If you didn't see it online, it's on there. And I'm talking like the toe shank. It was with like an 8-iron or something like that. Toe shank. Cameraman, which by the way, you're dumb for being there.
Agreed.
We're Colt, what was it? 5-6 yards in front of the guy to the right. You shouldn't hit it there, but these guys don't play golf. This isn't Xander. Low toe shank directly into the nutsack of this cameraman who just crippled. Kelly stopped. The music stopped. The crowd. I was like, oh my. I was like, this could be it. The guy's done. And he was down. It kind of shut down for a little bit. Matt walked over and was like talking to him. I was like, this could be the one thing that we haven't seen yet at the Phoenix Open. And thank God the dude was okay, popped up. But he ain't having kids. Hopefully he's got those already because it was donezo on that. And the dude walked over. He's like, oh my God. I was like, look, dude, that's going to go real viral.
Yep,
but
get ready.
The fact that the guy's okay, people would tip the cap just for getting out there and doing it. But that was just one of the deals of the week. You were there for Bird's Nest that night.
I did it all.
Favorite Bird's Nest from what you
Well, I'm biased. Cole Swindell's my boy.
Yeah, that's number one for me.
That was a lot of fun. Diplo, sorry Diplo, you sucked. I was very disappointed in that. Sam Hunt was way better than I thought he would be.
Sam brings the noise.
It was awesome.
Brought the lumber.
He brings some scenery too.
Oh my God, I've never seen when he got on stage, dude. I've never seen because people mingle in between acts. Yeah. He was the closer, obviously that night. People mingle at the bar. Everyone kind of comes in the stage, like the stage where you sit if it's close to the stage. Kind of clears out. You go to the bar. As soon as the lights came off, one note on the guitar gets played, and the light comes on to Sam Hunt. It was an avalanche of chicks of just estrogen. I was like, oh my, it was like running of the bulls to get to. I was like, imagine the power of that. Just one string and a whole.
When his last song, "Body Like a Back Road," oh my God, it actually. I'm not going to say what I should say, but it was unreal. It was a lot of fun. I thought Kygo, fantastic. He walked through 16 when Amanda Balionis and myself were there on set. First off, I think this is the first time I've ever been made a meme. My reaction to Sam Ryder's hole-in-one.
Oh yeah, show it to us right here for the YouTube.
Went a little viral, there it is. And I was clapping. I got so excited. It was unreal. But man, Saturday, that was a huge hit. That was the first time CBS had ever tried that, putting me and Amanda on 16 just to, show what the atmosphere is like. And man, it was a huge hit. I told Jim Nance and our producer Sheldon Shy, no matter what you do, you normally get some haters on Twitter. I didn't see one negative comment about our set on 16 in our reaction. Like, it was so cool. Everybody loved it. I think that's going to be something we're going to do in the future.
100% for that hole.
Man, it was so much fun. I
had to be a blast just doing it too. But all right, so Sam makes the ace.
Okay,
God, I just left for that, or I was in the stands for that.
I watched it live, so we weren't showing him hit, but I watched it live as the reaction on the internet. So I go nuts. So then they send it to us to show it. It's tape delayed. It already happened. We're trying to call the shot as beers are getting just thrown onto the tee box, the green, and everything. And I'm screaming. I get drilled in the shoulder by a full beer. I mean, beer is just drenching me. There's limes everywhere. It was unbelievable. I mean, one of the coolest moments I've ever been a part of. I mean, Sam Ryder, I said this on air. I said, here's the deal with 16. You know, guys want to go, they don't want to get booed. But in my opinion, like, is the juice worth the squeeze? You go right at it. You try to be you do something cool there, you're a legend forever around 16. Sam Ryder is going to be a legend.
Oh, it'll not just at 16, or just at the Phoenix Open.
Yeah.
Like, that shot is going to be played over and over. That's the most wild hole of golf that's ever been played.
I mean, how about the green just covered in beer cans?
Oh, the entire hole. I mean, there's a 20-minute cleanup with an army out there.
Unreal. I couldn't believe what happened. I mean, there was a lot of cool things that happened. Sam Ryder made it. Our guest this week, Carlos Ortiz, makes a hole-in-one. Harry Higgs, Joel Damon taking their shirts off.
That was big.
I mean, there was a lot of jokes. Cantlay, his putt on 16 on Sunday.
It just popped up.
There was a lot of jokes saying, I think Cantlay's ball hit one of Harry Higgs' buttons. But man, it's unlike any other event on the PGA Tour. It is so cool. I'm thankful it's only once a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much fun. It's so cool. But that's what makes it special, is it's so different. I mean, obviously you were there right in the center of all of it. But man, it's one of those ones you love it, but I'm also happy it's over.
I look forward to it every year, and I look forward to it to be over every time. I'm like, okay, that's enough. That's like living in a candy store as a kid for a week. First day, cool. You know, it's cool for a while, and then you just have a little too much candy. I lost my phone in a taxi on Thursday night on the way home. I think it was after Sam Hunt. I, walk out. All right, thanks. See you later. Get out. So, all right, get fine. He's 30 yards down my road. I was sprinting. It's pitch black. I mean, it's whatever.
There's no worse feeling, honestly.
And I watched him turn the corner, and I just stood there. Wasn't feeling great. And I was like, this is going to be a massive ordeal. And it was. And
losing the phone is a problem.
You feel you're just like, I'm so vulnerable. Imagine what's in that thing.
I'm not really sure what we've talked about so far today. It's
Scotty Scheffler, bud.
Scotty Scheffler
got her done.
Another W for you guys out there. But our guest this week, Carlos Ortiz, the Princess, makes a hole-in-one on Sunday. How about he goes 1-2 on 16 and 17?
Unreal. It may never be done again.
Well, it's
been a while since we even saw an ace, but not backed up with a deuce. There's wasn't even many of those this week.
I saw him after the round on Sunday, and I was like, my God, if you would have done that on Saturday, I literally would have came and tackled you. He's like, I know, I wish you would have been there.
It would have been nice on Saturday. I think this.
All right, let's get to it. Here's Carlos Ortiz on Golf Subpar.
All right, we got a tour winner in the building with us today by way of Guadalajara, Mexico, and University of North Texas, Mean Green. You may know him as Carlos or Carlito. Some may know him as the Princess. Carlos Ortiz, what's going on?
Not much. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we call you Princess on the radio show, and you call it, and you're great with it. But where did it come from?
Colt.
Nice.
Came from Colt. And there's just a few guys that is maybe Justin, Jordan, Colt, and...
Well, the Mexican national golf coach refers to you as that because I just saw him in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, but that's just when he's with you. But yeah.
Other than that.
How do you feel about the nickname?
I don't love it, but it's just one of those.
If you fight it, it's going to get worse.
Yes, exactly.
Probably. But where did it come from? Like, how did it start? When was the first? I should probably ask you.
That's Colt. I don't know.
Well, we used to play a lot of golf in Dallas together, and Carlos is used to having a caddy, among other things, on the golf course, and we would be playing together, and he would just be like, Colt, where's the wind? Colt, do you think 6-iron gets here? And I'm like, I don't know. Figure it out. And he goes, I've never played without a caddy before. And I was like, no. Dude, you are such a princess. That's kind of how it just started.
No, yeah, I like the good things. And
I like the
good things. That's a good way to put it.
I like the nice life, and that's why he called me Princess. But I mean, that's nothing wrong with that.
My favorite one is when I went and picked him up from his place to go play golf, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna stop and get some breakfast." He goes, "No, I've already eaten. Let's just go to the course."
No, I'm good. No, I'm straight. Thanks, so. Just keep it moving. I want to warm up.
That did not happen.
That 100% happened. Although, let's talk a little bit about when you started playing golf, because growing up in Mexico, I'm sure golf's not quite what it was in America, or what it is in America. What was it like for you?
It's definitely not what it is in America. It's different. I mean, it doesn't sound good, but it's definitely an elite. It's for the elite. It's just there's no public golf courses. The only public golf courses are resort golf courses in Cabo or Cancun, and they're $300 for a green fee. So it's not available for everybody, and that makes it hard. It's not a sport that is look good by other people. You know, it looks like if you're a white man and you know rich, that's how people look at it in Mexico. And then it's been changing lately. I think they've done a great job. More tournaments. It's getting bigger. It's becoming more available for everybody. But when I was starting and growing up, it was definitely not like that. And if you told me, like my friends back in school or something, or people that were not playing golf, they thought it was, you know, the most boring sport and just for rich people. Nah, it's not like that. And you have to work your ass off to do anything in this kind of sport.
I saw that you said I chose golf because it's the most challenging sport. Were you playing other sports as a young kid before golf?
I played other sports and I did a little bit of everything, but since I was 8, 9, I knew I wanted to play golf, and that's where I sticked on. And that's something my parents always ask me, whatever you're going to do, whatever you wanted to do, you have to do it the right way and you have to commit. So I picked golf and I committed to that. And eventually when I was playing soccer, it starts becoming an issue, you know, schedules, tournaments. So I just picked golf and I kept it that way.
I would say, like, obviously, you know, your success, Abe Answer's success has probably really helped Mexico. Obviously, Lorena Ochoa, what she did. But, you know, I was just covering the Latin American Amateur down in the Dominican. And I would say for Latin golf, like, that event had to do huge things to help grow the game.
Yeah, 100%, especially getting you into the Masters. That's the best tournament in the world. So I think people are starting to notice Mexico and the Latin American golf, you know. And I think they're investing in it. There's going to be 2 PGA Tour tournaments this year in Mexico. Game is growing. There's more tournaments from the Latin America, Corn Ferry. So I think there's good things happening. I mean, Lorena did an awesome job. I think I am where I am because of Lorena. She inspired a lot of people. She made it look possible. You know, because you're Mexican, you never saw a Mexican competing really on the tour. And Lorena made it possible, especially for me that we're in the same club. I saw her train. I saw her become from college player to professional to #1 in the world. And I mean, it was not coincidence. She was working her ass off every day, practicing hard, and I saw that firsthand. So that definitely inspired me, and I knew if I worked hard, it was possible.
Were you growing up and like playing with her when she was at the same club as you? Were you guys going out and playing 9, like you were picking her brain and stuff like that, or was she just there doing her thing and you were watching?
She was doing her thing, and then if you'd ask, she would play with you, and she would gamble like for whatever in the putting green, and that was huge for us, you know. And that I can relate to that now that I'm back home a little bit more. There's a lot of these kids that are practicing in the afternoon, so if you give them just a bit of time and practice with them or play a money game or something, it's awesome. And that's what she did for us. You know, she's always available. She's been from the beginning, and right now she's probably one of the greatest players I know, most humble and unbelievable.
Tell me, maybe it could be the same now as when she was #1 in the world, but like how big of a deal is she in Mexico?
Like I said, look, you need to understand golf is not huge, you know? So, but anybody that knows golf, she knows who she is. To this day, she's like respected. Everybody that knows golf will ask a picture from her, and she does so much. I think, and I talked to her recently, I think she does more golf stuff right now than what she did when she was #1 in the world. She just does these charity deals, one after another. She makes so much money for charities. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. And she said she wants to just slow down, but she's helping so many kids, so many schools, so many stuff that it's hard to stop, you know?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact year she retired, but I played with her a couple years ago in a charity event, and we got teamed up, me and her. And she still had her clubs. I mean, it had been 6 to maybe 10 years since she'd last played a tournament. Still had all of her same old clubs, but it was awesome to watch her. Obviously, she didn't practice like she used to, but still has that competitiveness in her. Like, she hits a bad shot, she wasn't happy. I thought it was awesome.
She's unbelievable. I had a shoulder thing and I couldn't play, but she organized this charity tournament at the end of the year in December. Abe played, Gaby Lopez played. I was supposed to play with her. Me and Lorena were gonna play Gaby and Abe, and I got hurt. My brother played, but I saw her play. She actually practiced like 3-4 days before the tournament, and I mean she's still so good. I mean I saw Gaby. Gaby's top 50 in the world with the women, and I saw Lorena play. Obviously Gaby's a bit more sharp right now, but she still drives a long way. She still hits these unbelievable shots. She has five, you know, they start losing and she starts making these putts and then chipping it. And I mean, she's so good. It's unbelievable. You can see how talented she was.
Was it nice as a young kid to go out there and play out there and just get your head kicked in over and over? It'd be hard to stick with golf. She's so good. She
was unbelievable. I never played competitively against her because I was so much younger, but just seeing her, it's just one of those that you see something happening, and she was huge. She was winning like Tiger, you know, She was winning 6-7 tournaments a year. She won 30-something times in 6 years.
obviously.
Since she's like the best.
I want to bring up, so you mentioned the Masters earlier, and I think this is cool. I didn't have a brother to play against growing up, but obviously your brother is a very good golfer as well. He won the Latin American Amateur, which got him in the Masters. He's younger than you, and he got to the Masters before you. I know you're happy for him, but at the same time, was that a little bit like, damn it, he's going to rub this in my face?
Yes, 100%. That was a sore topic, and I mean, I always said I'm never going to go to the Masters to Augusta until I qualify on my own, you know, and that's just something I always had in my mind, and he qualified, and I had to go. So it wasn't... Damn. I was a pro brother, but it was not the best for me because I was like, damn, I'm here to watch my brother, you know, not me, and I'm, you know, it was just something that happened. I really enjoyed going. It's one of the best places in the world, and he actually had a great tournament. He almost finished low-am. Victor Hovland beat him, but it was a great experience.
At least you got back on your own, so it wasn't the only time.
Yes.
That would have been a little bit
Yeah,
tougher.
but he still said, remember, I played there first, and I beat you. You know, because he finished like 30th. I missed the cut last year, but so...
It's a good little brother. That's what they're supposed to do. But when you were coming out, you're talking about, you know, golf isn't the biggest thing in Mexico. You're coming out, you're like the number 1 or 2 ranked junior in Mexico. How hard is it to get recruited by U.S. schools, even though you're winning tons of stuff?
It wasn't easy for me. I didn't have a ton of offers. I had an offer from North Texas and a couple offers that were not even real offers. Like, you come here, we'll give you a little bit of scholarship and you redshirt that year. And I'm like, I mean, I could do that. And my mom's like, no, I was already not going to school like normal people, and he's like, you're not going to take another year off. We're going to go somewhere where you're going to start playing and studying. And so I went to North Texas.
So UNT was like it in terms of like real offers?
Yes.
Where would you, if you could have gone, and like, did you know where you wanted to go or have ideas to play? Like, I'd love to go to Texas or wherever.
I mean, there's so many awesome, that's the greatest thing about the U.S. You can pick wherever you want. There's good schools everywhere. What kind of weather you like, what kind of people you like. I mean, that's you guys don't realize how lucky people are here. You guys can pick. If you're good at anything, you can go anywhere you want.
It's true.
You're smart, you're good. You're good at sports, you're good. You're set. You know, there's
and
no
if you're not, you go to TCU.
There's always that backup, maybe right there in Fort Worth.
No, but honestly, and then I just didn't have a lot of offers because I also didn't play enough golf in the States. So then my brother noticed how it was, and my parents learned, because it's a kind of a learning curve, how to get recruited. My brother played enough, and then he pretty much picked wherever he wanted to go. Yeah,
it's just hard. It's just a different animal. Like, we kind of take it for granted. You play good, some junior tournaments, there's going to be colleges all over the place showing up for you. You could win everything in Mexico, just as good, you know.
I know, you're not going to get noticed.
Like one, you know, like dude, Rahm. I mean, he had like University of San Francisco was it until ASU came in late.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. And I mean, I'm still glad it happened. You know, North Texas is probably not the most fancy. We didn't have the best facilities or anything, but it's close to Dallas. It's a great place. Weather is decent. It was fun. It was fine. I actually enjoyed my time there.
And you got you and Sebastian Munoz both went to school there now.
Yeah, but that's another story. That guy did not want to play golf for a living. Did not want to have. He went there for the college experience. He said, "You look, guys, I'm here. I'm not gonna play golf. I'm just here to have fun." And you know, and I'm like, "Come on, dude. I could tell that he could play. We have like the best team, and out of the team, he was probably one of the best ones. Rodolfo Cason was really good. He played with me, and then Sebastian was the third best by far. You know, and I said, "Come on, Dad, you should try." You know. No, and that's not for me. I'm going to relax, you know, enjoy my time here. So the year I decide to leave college, he decides, okay, I'm going to try it out. You know, he says because he saw me having success, he's like, I'm going to try it out. I might as well try out since I'm here. But once he started trying, he won tournaments, he started doing awesome. But he refused to play when I was there. And he'll tell you to this day, he did not want to play golf when I was there. So he never played in the team with me. I mean,
you inspired him.
He was intimidated by the princess.
No, he was not intimidating. He wanted to have fun, and I like everybody, you know.
Yeah, it happens.
And then he started trying, and obviously he's a normal.
Most people get there and don't play well, and then say, "Screw it, I'm just gonna have a good time." Not that many I know just show up and be like, "I don't care."
But he's turned into a hell of a player.
Yeah. He's an unbelievable player. He's always been a great player.
Yeah, I mean, and how's that school now? Like, having two guys like you guys come out and do what you guys have done, I got to think that lifts the program. It
is hard, you know. They've definitely gotten some good. You know, these coaches have to learn how to recruit outside the U.S. because inside the U.S. they know all the schools and all their options, so all the good players get snatched and you get down the list. And at the end of the day, you go to these recruiting trips and you see the facilities, and it's hard that they're going to pick North Texas over any of the SEC schools or Big 12 schools. So money at the end of money, when you have money in a school, it changes everything. And like my brother, he went to all these schools, and I was like, oh my God, I'm jealous just to seeing all the things that they're getting offered, all the little things like all the extra clothes, tennis shoes, they get per diem, they fly private to these tournaments. I'm like, what are these guys doing? We were lucky we flew in a plane. And if he was inside 8 hours, we would drive to the tournament. He was like, please be outside 8 hours. Let's just fly.
That's great. Let's talk a little bit about your pro golf, because you get out on the Korn Ferry Tour and you do something that only 12 players have done so far, the 3-win promotion. You were on an absolute heater that year. Was that one of those years where just golf just felt like, man, it's just easy every time I tee it up?
Something, I think it's because I got there without expectations. It was, I always told myself, if I I knew I was a consistent player. I know if I get myself a full year on the Korn Ferry, I'll prove myself. And I said, okay, my goal here is just to keep my card. You kind of see how professional golf is. Had never played a professional tournament before, so just wanted to see how it was. And I was no expectations. I want to keep my card this year, and then next year I'll get to a P Tour. That was my behind my head, my thoughts. So I show up to the first tournament and finish third, and I'm like, it wasn't that hard, It's okay. The second one I missed the cut, third, finished 15, and then the fourth tournament I play, I win, and I was like, damn, it's much easier than I thought. But everything was just I had I was no expectation. I just showed up, went after every single pin. It's just like I had no thoughts. You have no fear, no nothing. You just play, and it was, one of those years that golf was easy.
I watched it up close and personal.
Yes, and it was great. Then after that, I just started. A lot of things started coming into play, and I struggled. Came back to the tour, to the web tour, and it's the best thing that actually happened to me. Then I feel that's when I have started to become the player I'm going to start becoming, much better, more solid, more consistent.
I would just say just from playing with you through those years, like you had that great year on the Korn Ferry Tour and you got out on the PGA Tour, and it was almost like maybe lacking a little self-confidence. You weren't for sure, in my opinion, if you knew you were ready to be on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, no. I look, the first year I played on the PGA Tour, I actually had a decent year. I didn't feel like I played my best. I had a lot of times where I tee off on the last group or right before the last, and I end up playing terrible. And I finished, I think, 70th or 80th in the FedEx Cup. It wasn't that bad for my first year. No, it's great. Second year, I changed equipment, and I couldn't drive the ball, and that just it wasn't. I mean, I think it's. I don't know how these people do it without driving the ball straight. I normally drive the ball really straight. I couldn't drive the ball in the fairway, and I had a terrible year. I did not enjoy it at all, and I lost my car. And then after that, it was, recovering your confidence, and that's a hard thing to do.
When you got back to the Korn Ferry Tour after spending a couple of years on the PGA Tour, did it register with you like how impressive what you did your first time on the Korn Ferry was, like the 3 wins and how easy it was? Because, I mean, the caliber of golf down there is not insanely different than the PGA Tour.
It is, but I feel like I knew why it happened. Like if you play with no fear, and that's how you should play every single time. That's where I'm trying to get it every time I tee off in a tournament. But if you see the number one players in the top players in the world, they play with no fear. They go after every single pin. They don't care if they short side themselves. They're aggressive as it gets. That's how I played. And once you start getting a little bit times that you get knocked down, there's some fear that starts coming in. And I think that's what happened. And then after that, it was just becoming again, play without fear. Just play without if there's no consequences, and just go out and do your best. And I started playing like that, and I almost got my car back the first time. I had to stay 2 years. I finished like 29 on the regular season and 27 on the playoffs. And then, but I knew I was gonna get it back, and I wasn't. That year it took me a long time to get my confidence back. The next year I just played solid. I didn't even win, and I got my card easy. Like just playing. I finished top 25 like 10, 12 tournaments in a row, and I just understood what I had to do. And you get used to the nice things really quick. Going back down is not that fun.
I want to go to the equipment change real quick, because that's something, a lot of players face criticism when they switch, but I don't think a lot of people understand the opportunity it gets. I mean, obviously you're going to get more money, stuff like that. But going back and looking at when you did switch your equipment, is that something you might have regret looking back on?
100%. And it was, look, money was not the biggest factor why I changed. It was a little bit of chasing a little bit of speed, and the fact that I could play exactly the thing I was playing and use just the driver for the same amount I was getting with my last company, the contract, the club contract. And that's a no-brainer. Back then I was with Ping. They force me to use the putter. I use everything Ping, but the putter. They wanted me to change to that putter and my contract, and I didn't like it. So I was okay. Now I'm gonna play just the driver, tailor-made, and and then everything else I can use whatever I want. And I kept pretty much the same bag, just a putter, the one I wanted, and just changed the driver. But I couldn't hit the driver straight, and it just killed me. Yeah. And it was when that M1, M2 came that was super hot, and you had to launch it. I've never been one to launch. I've always hit down on the ball and kind of like hit a low fade or high fade, but it's always been with spin. Yes, when I got fitted, it was unbelievable. I was hitting at 320 because I was launching it. I don't know the launch numbers, but I was launching it high with no spin. But then when you go to a golf course and you have to hit it straight under pressure, that thing did not work. Yeah,
what looks good on a monitor doesn't always play the best. And you're in a little different spot because you're saying like money wasn't the biggest issue. I didn't just switch just for money. But being like a rookie, for most rookies on the PGA Tour, when all of a sudden things are available that they haven't been offered before, more money to play our clubs and things like that. Is that one of the biggest mistakes you think you see? Like, if you were giving advice to a rookie, like, dude, just stay with what got you.
100%. I think a lot of people, they factor in that money thing, and I understand a lot of people have been playing many tours and trying to make their way up, and they finally get these decent contracts. They're not even that big at the moment compared to what you're going to make on the golf course, but in the moment you think it's a big deal, getting 150, 200, 300,000. They don't even get that. They probably get 120 or 150 from a company these days, and they think it's a big deal, and so they switch only because they have that security of getting $150,000 when they don't realize that you're going to be playing for $8 million every week. And I think people make that mistake a lot,
over and over.
You see all these guys that they used to play, I don't know, TaylorMade on the Corn Ferry. They come here and they start playing PXG. Why? Because they got a little bit of money. And I feel like whatever you got there, you should try to keep it at least at the beginning, because I think the first year is always the hardest.
It's crazy now looking back. Like, we do this little fun thing on our SiriusXM show where we pick a guy each week, so you see how much everybody makes. And like, I was looking at Pebble Beach, and I think 18th place was like $121,000. I was like, Jesus. I mean, it's crazy. Like, in 18th is a good, nice week, but I think all of you that tee it up on the PGA Tour expect to do better than that. And you're finishing 18th and making six figures.
100%.
Yeah.
But you factor in a decision, like, if I have one good week that with this old equipment that I wouldn't have with this new stuff, like, there's the contract right there. But but it's all just in your hands, especially coming from the mini tours.
But it always gives you that sense of security, I guess, for players. It's knowing, I already have $150,000 security. Yeah. But they're seeing like right here instead of seeing the big picture. That's what I think, and that happened to me with that little thing. It was, instead of me thinking about that, I'm getting that extra money just because of using the side of the hat and the driver, instead of me looking, it's like, I should have always be a free, whatever clubs I wanted. Either way I can get sponsors for the rest, and I switch it up. I just get the whatever clubs. And that's what I've been doing, and I've still been playing ping this whole time.
I feel like more people are doing that, minus the top guy. They're throwing out just some weird numbers at the top guys. But I feel like there's more guys further down the money list, the FedEx Cup, that are starting to just, I'll play whatever I want because the money's so good out here.
I still think we have seen those big guys switch to a company and then switch back. I think Rory did it a couple years ago.
Justin Rose,
Sergio did it. I mean, and John Rams has stayed with them, with Callaway, but there's a lot of people that did that. Big names, they switched to to another company because they got a big money, and then they switched back after a year, even breaking their contracts because they were not happy with the equipment they were playing.
Yeah, done pencil.
Tough deal. Yeah,
done pencil.
Let's talk a little bit about your first win down in Houston, because you beat two of the biggest names in the game, Hideki Matsuyama and Dustin Johnson. What was that week like for you, and how much confidence did you take away from that week?
It's something. It was one of those weird weeks. I was the first time I had not to test I had to start testing after getting COVID. Mm-hmm. I tested positive again that week, first time after having it for 3 months, and I couldn't get to the golf course, and so I couldn't really practice and whatever. So I got in late because they finally cleared me, showing that it was just the extra virus you were shedding of your body. So I didn't really get the practice I wanted. Then my shoulder was bothering me, and I don't know, I wasn't really hitting it even that well. It was scrambling. I was playing with Harold that week. I remember that he kept getting me shit if I get mad or something. He's like, dude, stop complaining, carry on, leave your caddy away. He would do that in the middle of the tournament. I would just, you're right, let's go. He's the best. I love that guy, but I don't know. I just started having fun, but I was scrambling. The only day I actually hit it good, I felt like I played decent or like pretty solid. It was the last day. The other 3 days I scrambled the way I made up and downs out of the trash can on that golf course, and I won. Playing. I felt like I played really solid one day. The other 3 were just good days where you got the max score out. Like where you made it up and down pretty much every time you could. And when I had better opportunities, I made them. I felt that everything kind of worked out, but it was not like a special week, I hit it way better, played way better golf in other weeks, and I just end up not winning. Like Mayakoba this year, I feel like I couldn't play any better, and I still lost to Victor Hovland. And then in Houston, I feel like I played okay. I played awesome the last day, and I won. It's hard to explain. I don't know.
To be fair, a lot of people are losing to Victor Hovland these days.
Yeah,
it's really hard to beat that guy.
You ain't the only dude.
I felt that like when you feel like, okay, I gave it everything, I made up and down. But yeah, of course you can go back and this spot. But I played as solid as I could, and he still beat me by 3 strokes. And I'm like, okay, I'm so happy with my second place. Let's go. Yeah. I'm not even sad that I finished second. Like, what else am I going to do, I had no 3 strokes. If I go back, there's no way I can.
There ain't 3 out there?
Yeah, there's no 3 out there.
You got to be one of the only dudes that can look back on a week and say, not only did I win, but I also beat DJ and Hideki, 2 of the best in the world, stare me down without your best stuff. That's got to be like a huge boost. Like, dude, I didn't even have everything that I got this week, and I still did it.
Yeah, that was awesome. I had everything I had on the last day. Last day I played unbelievable, and then that definitely feels great. He was number 1 in the world when I beat him, and that's awesome. To be the number 1 player in the world, it's not like I beat just random guys. He was the best, and then I like that, and I feel like once I get on the chase, I'm good at it. I don't get scared, and I feel like I play. I hit the shot I have to hit, and I did that week, and that was great. That was awesome, and it was really special making that putt on the last hole.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Can you explain how much pressure comes off your shoulders after you get a win for the first time? You get the 2-year exemption, you're getting the Masters, you're getting all this stuff, and for the first time you can take a breath for a guy that's been out there and then come back to the Korn Ferry Tour like, dude, I got some time out here now, no matter what.
Honestly, that's not something that happened to me. I didn't really take pressure off me. It was more like the pressure. Yeah, I always knew I was going to win on the tour. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. It was more like, okay, finally won. And I think 3 days later you realize, okay, now what? It's just you have to keep going. And I wouldn't say I have less pressure or more pressure than before because of winning. You always. It's not like you're high and then because you won, I still want to play good the next week, and I still expect myself to do well. I feel like I still have the same pressure. I still have the same goals. It didn't change much for me in that sense.
Except you got to go to Augusta and
rub
it in your brother's face.
Yes, that was a huge part of the Augusta. But if anything, it feel me more like I know what I need to do, and I understood I have to play my best golf to win. I feel like it gave me more motivation, if anything.
Yeah, and like you said, winning that tournament, get you in the Masters, get your world ranking up where you get in other major championships. Yeah. Is the major championships kind of your next goal? You've played in 7 so far, haven't had the best success. Is that something you go to those and you think maybe with more experience you'll start to play better? Or is it something in your game you notice that you have to get better at for major championships?
No, I feel my game fits better for a major championship than normal weeks. I hit it decent length and straight, and I can hit it high, can spin the ball. So it's good for a major championship. It's just that I haven't prepared the right way. I think I'm like a little puppy. I get so excited I show to a major, and you're like running around practicing 3 practice rounds, and by Thursday I'm like, damn, I still have to play 4 more days, and I am exhausted. I've messed up, and I think you just learn by playing them, and I definitely have not treated them how I should. I still don't know what's the right way. I'm finding out. I definitely know what not to do now. I still haven't found what's the perfect formula. I know it's different for everybody, but I've definitely over-practiced those weeks, and I feel those are the weeks because the golf course are so hard. You have to be so rested and good in the head, to be able to think your way around those golf courses, and I've been so exhausted by Thursday.
Do you have a major championship that stands out to you in your mind, like this is the one, this suits me the best?
Honestly, when I walk into Augusta National, it was, since my brother went there, it's one of those places that they tell you how unbelievable it is. And normally, when they tell you it's right here, you get there with these expectations and it's right here. They tell you it's right here and you show up and it's way up here. That's one of those places. And I think that's the best one. But, honestly, walking at the British Open, walking at 8 holes, seeing all the stands, that's just something that gives you the chills, this history of golf and the way it's played, the golf course, how they're there. There's no shaping around. They're not like perfectly manicured. It's like they really build a golf course as the land is, and they use the pin right there, and they just cut it short, and that's the green. And then you go play. I mean, I think that's unbelievable. I wouldn't even. I mean, obviously, if I won any major championship, that would be unbelievable, and I would take any. But probably British or Masters are. It's hard to pick one over the other. I think Augusta, it's just everything that everybody loves about golf, but British is history, so it's just a close call there.
Yeah. And I know you're very close with Sergio Garcia, who won a Masters. How much have you leaned on him and like picked his brain, and how much has he helped you in your PGA Tour career?
He's been a great friend. He helps me out. He's one of those guys that if you ask for help, he will give you help and more. You know, he's one of those that it's right there for you, and he loves helping you out. But it's hard to also relate to him. Things for him are so easy. You know, he'll give you a lot of details, but the way he sees and he plays golf, it's just not normal. You know, it's just
like how, like what are you talking about? Like you got an example, like the way he explains things or how he hits shots? Or
yeah,
what?
the way he hits shots, it's for him. It's just if you see him hit 3 woods or 5 woods, how you do it? Just you have to feel this way, and you see, you try to do the same thing, and it just goes like it's like you carry on. I'll figure it out. You know.
Well, he obviously learned from Seve and Jose Maria, and I spent a day with Jose Maria Olazabal around the greens learning how to chip and hit bunker shots, and that's exactly how I felt leaving. I'm like, I can't do the things he does. Like you can't, like he would show me these things, and I'm like, okay, well, I physically can't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
and Sergio's obviously one of the best ball strikers ever.
I played with Jose Maria and Sergio at the Masters, and Jose Maria was chipping around the greens, and he uses 56 or something. It's like you have to pick them like that, and and obviously he's not looking. You try the same thing, and you use duff, and you just pick up the ball and not try again. But I mean, they make it seem like it's so simple, like the hands they have, the way they chip, it's like they're grabbing a putter, and it's so soft, and I mean. It's just things that that's why they're so good. But I mean, you can always ask all these questions and advices and everything. But golf is so different for everybody that it's hard to always get the perfect advice. You can always pick their brain and see what they're thinking, but not all the times it's the same. Everybody's different.
Do you think that's one of the things, like at the Masters or for instance, I'll just use that as an example because you're asking Jose, like, how do you chip and all that. Like, if it was a normal event and you were playing with somebody else, you're probably not asking that type of stuff. Granted, it's probably not Jose Maria Olazabal. Do you think it's like you almost try too much? Like, I want to soak up every single thing I can and sometimes, like, try to do too much?
100%. I mean, you're asking, how do you play this hole? And you
would just play it.
There is the fairway. Just find a way to get it from here to there in the least strokes possible. I mean, that's the easiest way to think about it. But there you're overthinking everything and just don't miss it here, don't miss it here. And it's just like, there's so many places you shouldn't miss it instead of just like, okay, I have to be here and here. That's it. Let's go. Like you can even, I feel like on the majors as I go on, I'm probably going to play less and just walk more because you can actually see instead of wasting your energy, playing, like, and I saw that from Justin Rose, for example, that last year. I don't think I saw him probably 3 times on the golf course. He only had his putter and his wedge and he was walking with his caddy. Mm-hmm. And I think he's done well in that place and I mean, I think they probably know how to play those majors already.
Yeah, it's a great point, though. Just, I mean, there's some secrets around some golf courses, but for the most part, it's hit it here.
It's golf.
I mean, there's not that much. There's no secret, Like, they can tell you, I mean, here it's going to break this way. Little things like that. But at the end of the day, the pin is there. There is a big hill there. Big slope here. You can somehow you have to get in that 15 feet radius, and if not, it's just you have to accept that if not, it's gonna be a hard shot going back because it's gonna roll down. That's how it is.
That's what Augusta does, though. Makes you want to try too hard. Let's go to another event that you got to play. That's a large event, the Olympics. You go over there, and you were one of the few guys I think that stayed in the Olympic. You opted to stay in the Olympic Village, even though it was like further away. What was that like?
I was unbelievable. That event, I honestly didn't have much expectations, like that's just what you're playing for is just for your honor, your country and everything. And I hadn't done that in a long time. So I showed up with no expectations, thinking like any other week, any other tournament. But once you show up there, you're like, it's just this feeling. I even get goosebumps just thinking when you're playing for a whole country, it's different. You really want to try, you want to represent, and it was an unbelievable experience. Staying in the village was a great choice. I got to see all the other athletes, how they interact, what they do, and we used to go to the gym, obviously not to work out, but just to hang out, just to see how they work out. I mean, it was unbelievable. We went to just stretch, and you see these people doing these workouts. Those are true athletes, they're all like 6'5", super strong. I mean, it was unbelievable, and just the experience, just playing there, it was great. I had a great time. I was in the mix the whole time. I didn't have a great last day, but as an experience, it's probably one of the best experiences of my life.
How were the beds?
Yeah, that's what we needed to know about. Cardboard?
They were cardboard. They were not comfy. I slept in a bed like tiny one with Mikey. We were touching feet all night and
Touching feet all night.
I mean, we had our rules. This is my side of the room. This is your side of the room, and it was fun. I mean, we had 5 rooms in my little condo, 2 bathrooms, and I slept. I had to run with Mikey in one room, and it was 2 caddies in the other room, and then 2 coaches in another room, boxers, and then a boxer in another room, another coach in the other room. And, it's cardboard. Also, the walls are cardboard, so you could hear everything. If they were texting and if they went to the bathroom. I mean, if you really want to rest and be at your top of the game, you probably should not be staying there. But all these athletes that are winning the Olympic medals are staying there. So I'm like,
that's what's crazy.
I'm going to stay there, But it's definitely not comfortable. Let's put it that way.
It's like a bad dorm. It's like a shitty dorm.
That wouldn't even cut it. That would be inhumane in the U.S. There's no paint on the walls. It's just, I think those things. I have a video. I can show you guys. It's an apartment that is not finished. They put a toilet and they put the walls that are cardboards. And that's how they divide everything. So and there's a big window. For example, in my dorm was a big window, and there's 3 rooms there. But you cannot put wall against the window, right? So there's a space this much, so you can hear everything on every single room. You know what I mean? And the beds were literally cardboards.
Yeah. Now that you've experienced that, when you make the next Olympic team, will you opt to stay in the Olympic Village, or will you go somewhere more comfortable?
No, I'll stay in the Olympic Village. It's the experience. You have to live the experience. Okay. I loved it. It's awesome. It's just people think it's not. I mean, not for what we're used to. I don't stay in fancy hotels, but in a normal Holiday Inn or whatever hotel you stay, you're gonna stay way more comfortable in the Olympic Village, and you don't have to share bath. You had to share bath. Yeah, in the mornings you wanted to go take a shit, and you couldn't take a shit because there was
they could hear you. I mean, how are you supposed to?
No. And then there is a coach right there, Mexican coach there. And then he finishes, and it's gonna stink, but you have to go to the bathroom again. I mean, I'm not. It's more back to college, back to a dorm.
That's the word. On the week you're supposed to be at your best in your life. You wait 4 years for this thing, and all of a sudden you got to wait for a coach to come out taking a growler.
That Olympic beach was so far from the golf course, for like an hour and 30-minute drive. So we had to wake up. If we tee off at 8, we had to wake up at 4:30, to do the whole process and drive there. An hour and 30 minutes driving. So this boxer fight, we're in contention there too. This boxer has a fight, and it's like at 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. So he fights, wins, comes back to the room. You can hear everything. They put him on the top, ice. So you mind putting ice of buckets in. You can hear the whole thing. It's like the room is falling, and they're screaming and everything. So Mike has to come out like at 12:30. We have more, 4 hours more of sleep. Hey guys, we I know you guys. Congrats of you winning the fight and everything, but we have to wake up soon. Will you guys mind keeping it down? And he's like, yeah, so sorry. We still have adrenaline and we're still going. Yeah. Trying to calm down. It's like thanks guys, but I don't want to disturb. But we have to wake up. And that's part of what we were living, but it was awesome. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like
we got no sleep because you could hear everything. And like one other night, the coach right beside us, and I had to scream through the room because he was texting and he had the chime on. So it was every time he got a text back, he was ding.
What is the matter with this guy?
And I finally said, Coach. He didn't know what he was saying. Yes, you mind turning your phone off? We can hear you. And or he talking the phone. If I say, it's just like if you talk at the phone at 4 or 5 in the morning, you could hear the conversation anyway.
Yeah, the week you're supposed to be at your best. Your whole country is watching you. You show up and play a bad first round. They don't know that you're up till 3 a.m. waking up at 4:30 because your coach was texting.
It was great. I mean, those are little things that you definitely. I definitely got an unbelievable sleep once I got to a normal room. Let's put it that way.
Did you meet any other athletes that you were excited to see while you were over there?
I saw Djokovic one day, and I saw. I think it's.
You're a big Federer guy, right?
Yeah, he was not there. But,
but that's your
he
boy.
Was. Some basketball guys, some baseball guys. There were some Mexican guys that I knew that they were playing on that Mexican team. The thing that was unbelievable is when somebody won a medal, everybody would stand up and clap, and they will walk into their building, and then the whole country was waiting outside and singing and doing things. That was unbelievable. Experiencing that and seeing that and how they were reacting. Everybody was just so respectful, and I mean they were just if you think about it, these people prepare for 4 years for this event. So people, it's like their week, they're focused, they're there to win. that's why for me it was unbelievable to see where they stay for doing. They're preparing for 4 weeks and they're staying on these places to compete at their best level.
It's crazy.
It is.
Well, that's an unbelievable experience. Should we get to the E9?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, please.
Carlos, emergency 9 time. 9 questions to learn more about the great Carlos Ortiz.
Okay.
And we ask this to everyone. You can trade lives with anyone, dead or alive, for a day. Who would it be?
Ooh. I don't know. Probably not. I wouldn't say.
Is it somebody you don't want to be?
No. I just. I don't know who I would trade places with.
It can be anyone.
It ain't easy.
You get to be him for a day.
This is a deep thinker.
No, I would say I would love to trade for like. But you doing what they do or just for?
Yeah.
You're them.
Like I would say like a Nadal or Federer playing one of those Grand Slams or, like one of the like Queen the Freddie Mercury when he was singing like something like that. Just leave what the hype they leave.
Get early Freddie Mercury.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Michael Jordan back in the day.
Just dunk on someone's face. It'd be nice.
There's no wrong answers.
No. I just think there's so many options to think of.
Yeah, Freddie Merck at Wimbledon. Maybe not later on in his life, but at Wimbledon when he shut that down. Or Wembley, sorry.
I was like
Wembley.
Wimbledon?
Not Wimbledon. Wembley. We were just talking about tennis.
Wembley.
Wembley.
Freddie Mercury played
Wembley.
tennis.
That would have been a good one. Yeah. All right, first one for me. I'm going to audible out of this into one that we were talking about before. His nickname's Gravy. My nickname's Sleaze. We have a radio show called that. What would be the Spanish translation?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
How would we say it if we were trying to habla?
Look, the thing is, I can say things, but I think nowadays it would be offensive to a lot of people if the way you say things.
You can't offend us.
Yeah, you can't offend us.
No, but you can still not say the things I'm thinking.
Oh.
Well, whatever, Carlos. I
Protect
feel like
your
you're thinking
brand.
mean things about us.
No,
Gravy can't be
I'm just saying
offensive.
these days I would love to speak my mind off and say exactly what I think, but you can't these days.
This is
just how everything is going.
This is the trust tree.
I just wish people would not get offended as
How you say gravy? That's not offensive. Is it?
Gravy is gravy.
That's how you say it in
Gravy's
Spanish,
gravy.
too?
Yeah,
It's just
gravy's
gravy?
gravy. Yeah.
So it's just the sleaze that's the problem?
Yeah. Sleaze
Okay.
is a
I'm
big...
going to have to dig into
The sleaze is a problem
I'm gonna have to dig
everywhere.
into that translator on my app and see what this is.
All right, more memorable experience. Winning on the PGA Tour or representing Mexico in the Olympics?
No, it was definitely winning on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great experience, but it was not memorable because I played terrible the last day, and it was one of those bad memories. But it was a great experience overall.
Okay.
All right, my next one, and I'm very genuinely interested in this. Why on earth would you set up Canelo Alvarez to play with Wyndham Clark at the AT&T Pebble Beach instead of playing with him yourself? Probably the biggest celebrity in Mexico.
I was never gonna play AT&T, but I actually really thought about it. It was hard.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play with him, and it was just schedule-wise it didn't work out. But then I thought, okay, they gave me this list. See who you think would be cool, and honestly, I thought Wyndham Clark would be half decent to play with him.
Interesting. Passing down Canelo.
By the way,
there for him.
So I got to see Canelo at AT&T Pebble Beach. I've been to a fight of his, but I've never been that close to him. We did the $1 million hole-in-one thing. He comes out, first swing, first AT&T. Obviously, it's well known. He's only been playing golf for a couple years. Hits it to 11 inches from 100 yards in front of a massive amount of people. I'm like, This guy is the greatest athlete I've ever seen.
He is unbelievable. I can tell you, I've played golf with him probably 2 years ago, and he was as bad as he gets. And I know he hired a coach full time because I've seen him in Guadalajara with him. He's from San Diego, the coach, and he just grinds. I mean, that guy, I think he probably works harder than any average tour pro.
So
we asked him, nuts.
Jim Nance and I asked him what his schedule's like. He says golf every day, 4 hours a day after training, boxing 5 hours. So I mean, he trains and works out for 5 hours, then goes and practices for 4. I'm like, Jesus, I never did that when I was trying. I mean,
you would understand the way he was swinging the first time I played with him. I played with him at the WGC in Mexico, 2019, 2020. I don't know, 20 or 20, and he was bad. I mean, like he would not break 100. He would shoot 120, and I saw him play this last year a couple times back home. I mean, he can shoot 80 or less than 80 now.
His swing's pretty nice.
He can bring 80. I mean, you understand? I understand as a golfer. And I can respect the hard work he has put in to become a 36 handicap to probably an 8-10 handicap right now. It is unbelievable.
He loves it.
I mean, you can tell how talented he is as an athlete.
Is he the biggest name in Mexico? Like, if he goes, can he go out in Mexico?
No,
is it like LeBron going out in the States or something?
Canelo is big. I mean, Canelo is big in the U.S. here.
He's everywhere.
I mean, he's he's big, and I mean, he's earned it. You know, he's worked his ass off.
He was the guy that, out of all the celebrities at Pebble, he was the guy I saw that people asked for the most pictures with.
When Wyndham Clark told me it was impossible to play with him. I mean, like he said, he had an unbelievable time with him, but he said because there were so many Latins and Mexicans following him, and they honestly didn't know anything about golf. He said that they were like Canelo, Canelo, and Wyndham was like in the middle of the swing and screaming and Vamos Canelo, and it's like, guys, just calm down. I'm kidding, you know.
That's
like,
crazy.
He said it was great, but he had that part.
Yeah, like he and Doc had to back. He's like, we had to back up like 10 times just because they all just want Canelo's attention, picture. Whatever.
He also told me like Manolo was in the middle of the fairway walking with us during the tournament. And tell him, you have to tell me that was a great ball. It's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm playing a golf tournament. Just back up.
Yeah, he was just like on the tees with him, hanging out. Yeah.
Manolo? Yeah. I got to meet him too. Yeah. What a character.
Yeah. But he was working with them in the tournament, and he said they had to tell him to back off.
Yeah, it was like coming up on the tees and like talking and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
it. All right. Now that I don't play golf for a living anymore, do you think the next time we play together, you'll still ask me, where's the wind?
Yeah, that's something I need to work on. And I used to give me shit about that, but yeah.
I still ask me?
Yeah, I'll still probably ask you.
Perfect. Okay, well, I'll probably be wrong.
I mean, if you're there, he's going to ask you, dude. What else are you doing there?
It's one of my favorite things about you. Colt, where's the wind?
All right, you're widely regarded as one of the nicest guys on the PGA Tour. So you're playing around a golf with Peter Malnati, also one of the nicest guys on tour. You're both shooting 97. It's super bad. Which one of you breaks a club first?
Look, I'm nice. People say I'm nice because I say hi. You know, and this is something I don't know if it's not normal here, but people here, you can walk two of people in the locker room, just you two, and people don't say hi here. If you say hi, people think you're nice. And I'm not saying I'm a bad person, but Peter Malnati is the nicest guy there is, and I'm not as positive as he is. Nice is not means positive. Peter Malnati is the most positive guy. He would never break a club. He gets there, gets the worst line. He says, "Oh my God!" And he finds what a beautiful flower. He sees the nicest things in everything. I wish I had that mentality, and. About being nice, I mean, he's truly a nice guy, but I honestly just say hi, you know, just be polite. Just say, hey, if you see somebody, hey, good morning. Or, you know, here people on tour, when I'm saying here, it's on tour, there's a bag, there's a caddy and a player. Players only talk to players. It's like they treat the bag and the caddy as the same piece of equipment. It's like they completely ignore them, you know. If you just say hi to them, they think you're nice. They just say, hey, good morning, how you doing? You try to learn their names, and people think you're nice because of that. I mean, maybe I'm nicer than some other people, but people just are weird out here. You know,
well, I think you're very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Rub that off on some others.
Colt is a nice guy.
Sometimes.
He gives a lot of shit to people, but deep down,
it's all facade.
He says hi to caddies. He gets along with caddies. But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's always like caddies talk to caddies, players talk to players, and you completely. It's like part of the equipment. You know, they don't even say hi to them. And for me, that amazes me that how some people are around there.
All right, well, just staying on that subject. Other than Peter Malnati, give me 2 or 3 you're the nicest guys on the PGA Tour.
Harold Varner.
Okay.
Joaquin.
Mm-hmm. Pat Perez.
That's all the nice guys.
No, I mean, Pat Perez, I like Pat Perez, but he's not the nicest guy out there. I mean, there's a lot of guys that I like. I like Sergio. People would think Sergio is not as nice because what is he on TV, but he's probably one of the nicest guys on the golf course. If you're playing with him, even if he's doing bad, he will be cheering you on, and then he's one of those guys that give you good vibes too. I've
asked that question to a lot of guys, and Gary Woodland's name never comes up.
No, he has not come up
Never comes up.
Yep, he is unlisted at this point.
He's a nice guy too.
That's more obligatory.
Quiet.
Well, if you see what he did to my car, you might not think he's so nice. I'll tell you about it off the show.
Just a little pranky poo on old LD over there. All right, am I up?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Which tequila is more likely to give the worst hangover after an aggressive night in Cabo? Flecha Azul or Mastro Dobel?
Why do you guys want to put me on the spot?
First off, don't say you guys. That was all him.
We're going to start a little war.
I'm going to play the fifth and decline to answer that question.
And they're both very good tequilas.
No, they're great tequilas. Ace has done a very good job with his tequila. But I honestly wouldn't know which one would give you a hangover.
Yeah, there's no shame. You could say yours.
No.
I've drank them both, and I feel great the next day.
Yeah, I think they're all good.
I don't think you get hangover with any. I think they're both great tequilas, and you don't get hangovers with good tequilas.
Smooth.
Especially if you drink them straight, it's perfect.
Yes, eliminate the mixers.
Yeah, I think those mixers give you the bad hangovers.
Correct.
Okay, which nickname fits the player better? The Princess and Carlos Ortiz, or the Seagull and Charlie Hoffman?
Oh, the Seagull. I mean, that is just that's just. Do you give him that nickname?
No, I helped spread it though.
You definitely spread it, but I mean that's a perfect name.
Yes, there's not one person that you say that to, and they're like, "Yep, that's pretty much the most perfect nickname you can have for a guy."
Yeah.
And it is spreading.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting there.
I get people on like Twitter just send me, like, be in the parking lot wherever they work, and they'll be like a Seagull sitting there. They'll be like, look, I found Charlie.
Oh, I was walking Pebble the other day, and he withdrew from the tournament, and there's a seagull in the middle of the fairway, and of course I take a picture and send it to him and say, I thought you withdrew. He goes, it actually took you longer to send that to me than I thought you would. That's great. But I love you, the Princess.
Yes.
One of my favorites. Thank you so much for joining us, dude. This has been a blast.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, that was our man, the Princess, Carlos Ortiz, joining us here on Golf Subpar. I mean, we interviewed him before the Phoenix Open, but now he is also a legend around TPC Scottsdale, making the hole-in-one. He's one of my favorite dudes, the nicest guy on the planet. His voice just really entertains me, Sleeve.
It's just, I think he could literally say anything. It could be the meanest thing in the world. I'm like, whatever. You're such a nice guy. The voice, you just can't get over it.
But how about the Olympic story? I mean, he stayed in the village. He wanted the whole experience. Cardboard walls, cardboard beds, not much privacy.
I don't blame. If I was ever to make it to the Olympics or anything, I think I'd want to stay in the village. I want to do the whole thing. You know, you don't know if you're ever going to be back or not. But the thing that surprised me is just how shitty the setup is. It's like the golfer's like, all right, you go play the Olympics. It's still a huge deal, right? Justin Rose wins. He's like, that's maybe my biggest accomplishment. All that type of stuff. And then you go play another golf tournament the next week or the week after. Like you're back to your job. These guys that are boxers, skiers, whatever, name the sport. It's like you got one thing basically that you try to get ready for. You try to be good, get all your money, marketing, endorsements, all that, and that's it. And this is it. And they stick you in a cardboard less than a college dorm.
How about
they spend $80 billion to get these things done. Like you can't give them like something. Can I get like a Holiday Inn Express room for the guys?
Nope.
No, you got to listen. Boxer comes home at 10
Boxer
at night,
comes home after
fired
winning,
up from whooping somebody's ass. Like, hey, sorry, I got to wake up at 4 to go play for my country. Think you could chill out for a little bit? I mean, I can't believe how bad the setup is for Olympic athletes. That's the pinnacle.
But Carlos, the Princess, what a nickname. It suits him perfectly.
It's great. And he doesn't like fight it or anything. It's just like, yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, I think it's perfect. Carlito, that's what everyone
like
calls
we said,
him,
literally one of the nicest dudes on the PGA Tour. Let's switch the subject a little bit and go to one of the not so nicest guys on the PGA Tour. Our man, the Seagull. Charlie Hoffman made some news this week.
Wow. That was out of left field, I felt like. It was just all of a sudden be like, you see what Charlie said? I was like, no, what did Charlie do? All of a sudden I saw the post. I was like, whoop, here we go. Here comes a can
So here's the
of
deal.
worms.
If he would have just, first off, I agree with part of it. I agree the ruling is stupid.
We're going to have the same opinion.
It's a terrible rule. When he went to the whole backing, the PGA Tour doesn't support its players, tagging Saudi, saying people are going to leave. That's where he crossed the line a little bit, in my opinion. I walked on the range Saturday. There he is. The Seagull. I just walk up and he goes, how you doing, Colt? I go, well, better than you. Dude, it was probably, I think that looking back, he probably regrets that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like nothing's going to come of that. That tweet or whatever Instagram post isn't going to change anything. And my whole point was, I was like, you're talking about two different things here, dude. One is a rule that you think sucks, which, by the way, it does suck. You hit it in the hazard, you drop your ball, you place your ball, it moves. Yeah. Like, I don't feel like the player has any, responsibility for that whatsoever. It's just a shitty deal, and you should, the ball should have to get back in play from you hitting it before you can take another penalty. Happened to Ricky Fowler a couple years ago at this very tournament. Damn near cost him the week. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It just, that rule sucks. I feel like it can be made a lot easier for everybody.
I just think for everyone at home, they're like, okay, we know it's a stupid rule.
Yeah.
It's common sense. Like, you drop it, it rolls, you place it, just like Ricky did, like, as you said, on 11.
And if it's on such a slope that it can't stay there, you shouldn't.
What are we doing?
Shouldn't be dropping there.
No.
Or there should be enough grass, enough friction to stop
If it rolls
the
in the
ball.
water, you get to replace it again. It's
you
not a penalty.
Get the ball back in play.
You literally did nothing.
Exactly.
But
the rule is shit. But then to go then you start going to the PGA Tour as a whole. One, you're talking about a rule, USGA type stuff, or local rule, whatever you want to do with it. That's one thing. And every person in the world will be on your side. But yeah, that rule's shit. But then you're like, and also, this just shows how the PGA Tour sucks ass and you don't protect us. I was like, now you're getting to a totally different thing. It'd be like an NBA player getting called for a travel, which would never happen. But being like, this rule's shit. By the way, the NBA sucks. I'm going to China and all this. I'm like, oh, dude, you're talking about a rule here. I don't know if that was just the catalyst. He had a lot of stuff pent up in him, but it was weird.
That's what I was going to throw something out there, and I decided not to address it. Charlie's been dealing with some back injuries. He's been hurt. He didn't get to play his hometown event, San Diego, the Farmers. Had to withdraw from Pebble. And then here's the WM Phoenix Open, which he's sponsored by. It's a big tournament to him, and he gets a ruling that's not in his favor.
Horrible break.
And he just let it all out there.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. You need a timeout. You need to go sit in your room for an hour, cool down, and then handle things.
That's the one where we need the algorithm from social media. It says, the thing you're about to post is going to cause a shitstorm.
Yes, exactly.
I'm putting it on delay. I'm saving it right here. And in 20 minutes, you can re-access this. If you still feel like this, you can push send. But that's the thing we all need, like a breathalyzer. Yeah. Breathalyzer for your phone, but even not with drinking. It's just like, this is going to have repercussions.
Get ready. You sure you want to send this?
Yeah, please confirm. We need 2 forms of ID.
We love you, Seagull.
We love and everyone loves the goal, dude. It's super, everyone loves them, and it's just all of a sudden, you don't need to give too many people like ammo for them to turn on you pretty quick. And I think when you start looking for the Saudis as like the source of protection of golf, that's probably not going to be popular.
I texted him Saturday morning, and I was like, dude, you're going to get absolutely murdered in 16 today. I was like, how about I bring a pair of like noise canceling headphones and you walk out of the tunnel with them on and hit your shot?
That'd be good. Yeah.
I was like, dude, they'll love it.
Hold on, I'm in the arena. Yeah. Shut up.
They were actually, I was in there when he hit. They actually weren't too bad to him.
Were they not bad? Yeah. I went out there I know that he didn't have his best weekend, so I think there was some lingering kind of, emotional stuff from that. Just knowing but
listen to this.
We love the goal, but I think that was like, you're talking about 2 separate issues entirely on that.
Well, we had a great weekend because once again, over at FanDuel, we pick another winner. Scotty Scheffler getting it done, 22-1, I believe he was. Wraps up the victory, gets his first PGA Tour event. We have been on an absolute heater with our people at FanDuel.
Smoking.
And the golf season is back in full swing, and there's no better way to make every moment more than on FanDuel Sportsbook. Each week, we love looking through all the different markets and finding fun and unique bets, like finishing position, matchups, round leaders, and group winners. And don't worry if you missed out on getting your bets in before the tournament starts, because FanDuel has live betting options all throughout the weekend, so you can always make every moment more. And if you win, they even get your winnings safely in as little as 2 hours. So all you people that took Scotty Scheffler, you got your money real quick.
And you can bet anything you want. You got player props, futures, find whatever bet you're looking for, as FanDuel has heaps of options for you. You got the live betting. You get home a little late, like I did yesterday for the Super Bowl, or Sunday for the Super Bowl. You fire it on. All right, cool. Pick something you like. Get it. Odds boosts and specials. Ours hit this week with all our boys making a cut. Bam, extra chicken for you on that. And, of course, it goes without saying, same game, Parleezy.
Yeah, your favorite.
I love them.
How about that, though? We had all 3 make the cut, which hit. Scotty Scheffler. I took the Bengals.
Yeah, we planned that perfect.
Yeah.
So no matter what, we could claim that we
gave you a winner in the Super Bowl.
Blow it, of course.
All right.
And don't cover.
And right now, FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Just place a bet on any game or golfer, and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. Well, Sleeves, before we go to sleep, if you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Go to FanDuel.com/subpar or download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Be sure to sign up with promo code SUBPAR so they know that we sent you. Must be 21 years old and older, present in Arizona, Connecticut, New Jersey, or New York. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777, or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or 1-800-GAMBLER in New Jersey, or 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. All right, we're on to the Genesis Open. L.A. Riviera, incredible golf course. Going to be a star-studded field. The Genesis Invitational, hosted by the one, the only, Tiger Woods.
T-Dub, yes.
All right.
We're 1 year removed from the madness.
Let's keep this
around the world.
Let's keep this heater going.
Let's stay
Shall we? All right, I'm going to start it off. I'm going with a guy. I think he's on a mission this year. He's, been
Mormon
hot
guy?
and cold. No. Different kind of mission.
Different mission? All right.
But I feel like you have to be a bomber to win around Riviera. We've seen it over the years. Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, they tend to play very well. J.B. Holmes has a great track record around here. Mm-hmm. This guy smashes it, hits it to the moon. I think he's ready to start winning regularly. Rory McIlroy, 20-1, is going to get it done at the Genesis Invitational.
I hope. This will be a big stage for him to come back and start doing it on the PGA Tour again. You got 9 of the top 10. Bryson, the only one not there. That's because he's injured, because he can't be there. I mean, this is as good as a regular season field as you're going to get. And we're waiting on. It's there with Rory. You just don't see it as much as you should. So I'd love to see Rory back there. I'm taking a ball striking beast as well. I wouldn't call him a bomber, but he hits it plenty far, and he's coming off an MC here in Phoenix. So you might say, wow, he's in bad form. However, prior to that week, he's been about as hot as anybody on the planet. And I'm thinking he was just kind of running on fumes with all the traveling, playing going on. A couple extra days off, missing the weekend might not have been the worst thing for him. But Victor Hovland going off at 27.
Wow.
I just think you got to pierce, you got to strike the rock around
I'm just
Riv.
worried he's a little tired.
I think he is gassed. But
I had his group on Friday when he made the 8 on 15 at the WM Phoenix Open. He's been playing overseas. Obviously, wins over in Dubai. I think he's a little tired. I respect your pick.
I think he's got to be gassed, but I think the missing the cut as opposed to like grinding, he had the bad finish there. As opposed to grinding out that cut, making it on the number, finishing 50th or whatever. You know what I mean?
Rest.
Like, just get some rest in. So a couple of days off maybe, but he's just, man, he hits it so good, tee to green. That's what you got to have at Riv.
All right, I'll tell you another guy I'm going to like as a little bit of a dark horse. Played pretty solid. Finished top 15 at Phoenix.
Yeah.
Bubba Watson going off at 41-1. Really like him around this place. I mean, he plays well at certain golf courses. Augusta National, Riviera. He really likes those places. Phoenix, done well. I love Bubba this week. 41-1 is great odds. If we go way down the board, a guy that I think for some value, 130-1.
That's value.
That is value.
That's a value meal.
Keegan Bradley. He loves this place. I would sprinkle just a little bit of something on Keegan Bradley.
You don't got to sprinkle a whole lot at 131.
No, I mean, maybe even just a top 10 bet as well. But if you want to sprinkle a little something, Keegan Bradley 131, that's a payday.
Okay, taste it. Put a little something on Keegs. My second one, around the same odds as Hovland, another dude. I'm just taking dudes that hit it incredible. Some of the best. Will Zalatoris, 31-1. Feel like this is the kind of place where he could pick off his first one the same way we saw Scotty putting. A little tricky out there. It's a little tougher around the greens. Maybe the best chippers in the world are just a little less so this week. It's a ball striking contest out there. You look at the names that win. Max last year was incredible. DJ Finau was right there. Adam Scott. Like, those are tee to green guys.
We've had 3 straight weeks of first-time winners on the PGA Tour.
Keep that
Luke
going.
Ness,
Willie's
Scotty
coming
Scheffler.
to add one.
Oh, he's going to get one.
The Dallas count's going up.
All right, well, that was an incredible disaster.
I'm going to sleep.
We're going to sleep. We're going to sleep for a week. Everyone enjoy the Genesis Invitational. We'll talk to you on next week's Golf Subpar.